Hey everyone, Joey Ragona here, and I'm back again with another progress call. These are the kind of calls that I like to do with students who are kind of in the middle of their journey. Some of them are further along than others, and I like to do them because a lot of testimonial type videos you see are the end result type of stuff, which are great, but I just want to introduce you to people who are actually going through the stuff that you are going through or maybe are going to go through, and to help you just understand that we're not alone in this. And there's a lot of stuff that goes well, some things go wrong, and we're just there to fix it. We're entrepreneurs. We're here to build our business, and I just want to get some insight on where people are to help you see the value of what we're doing here at the Strategic Profit Lab Insider Circle. So today I've got Sarah Harding on, and she is a holistic life design coach, and I'll let her expand on that. Sarah, welcome to the call. Let us know what's going on. What do you do for people?
Yeah, thanks, Joey. So I have a business partner. Her name's Mandy, and we're rarely together because we live in two different states. But so together we help natural-minded moms basically get it all done. And it all is defined through our Supermom solutions. So we help them decide what is it all. You know how you hear people say, oh, you can't do it all. You should just not even try. Well, we actually help moms define what their it all is, and we teach them how to get it done. So we have the Supermom's Guide to Getting, can I curse on this, Joey?
Yeah, you can curse. We're all adults.
Okay. I just want to ask, I have to say earmuffs on my podcast. So we have the Supermom's Guide to Getting Shit Done, and it really does help moms get shit done. That's what we do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so tell me what your situation was like before joining the Strategic Profit Lab Inner Circle. What was life like? What was the business like?
Yeah, so we had the community that was almost leading us. Like these people kept finding us and trying to draw more out of us, but we were not, I wouldn't say receptive. We just didn't know what was going on. I guess we didn't recognize it at that time as people trying to get more from us. So we were working super duper hard building this program, and we had very subtle growth, and we had a decent amount of clarity, but then we'd wake up and completely lose it. So that's where we were at. We're like, I know what we're doing. I know what we're doing. Okay, what are we doing again? Okay, this is working. This is working. Okay, it's not working. Or is it working? I don't know. Like we just had this, I don't know. We were just working really hard and had nothing measurable to really talk about, except that people kept coming and knocking on the door saying, give me more, give me more. I'm like, more what? More what?
Yeah, so you're in a lot of situation where there's a lot coming at you. You're like kind of overwhelmed with all the information out there, that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah.
No, go ahead. You were going to say something?
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. It was as if we knew what we were going to provide because they'd asked for it. But then as we were trying to create it, we were just getting sucked down other rabbit holes. Like we just couldn't do it fast enough. And that's really what it was, is we couldn't do it fast enough.
And so when you joined, what started to happen then? Like, what did the process look like?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because that very first email that you sent, and I can't remember if it was like the SPL member email or if it was just I was in your email list. Either way, it shifted my mindset, and I basically ripped you off. And I copied, I copied your email. And obviously we have different audiences, so the words I used, they weren't exactly the same. So I didn't intellectually pirate you or whatever it's called, but I ripped off your rawness and authenticity, which is kind of an oxymoron. Like I copied your authenticity to be authentic. I think you should put that on a quote because that's pretty musical.
That's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna steal it right from this video. I'll take this little piece and put that out as a testimonial.
Yes, you can rip off my authenticity to be authentic. Yeah. So that's what I did. I was like, you know what? I just knew when I read what you sent to me, I could tell that you wanted to help me. It's so funny. Like I've read a lot of emails and I've been in a lot of funnels and a lot of sales things, but I really felt like you wanted to help. It was authentic and raw. And I was like, I'm going to try this. So I literally sent it out and I had people signing up for stuff right away. I'm like, okay. I get this now. And then that's pretty much where, how it all started.
Yeah, that's amazing because I know we talk a lot within the group and our chats and the live calls that we have too, and I know we talk a lot about the authenticity thing, the part of it, which so many people are afraid of just being who they are, and I'm so glad that you stepped into that, and it's proving that it's working for you. And
Hmm.
I want to talk a little bit about that, because like, what's the fear behind that authenticity piece? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we were trying to be professional. Like we wanted people to realize we're not just moms. And I mean, we are moms, but we also have all these other credentials and skills and gifts and talents and stuff. But we also don't, like, I'm in the psychology field, and I'm going to say, leave it at that, but I don't want to work as a psychologist. Right. So I wanted to be professional and say, I'm more than just a mom. That's why you can trust me. But then at the same time, that made me feel like I couldn't just say, I am a mom. I'm also a mom.
Yeah.
I had to be the professional. And so that was the hard part. And I think that, like, I remember thinking, it's like you had this curtain that hid all of your knowledge and experience, but you were like right there in the front, like, hey, I'm just a real dude, I'm ready to help you. And that's kind of what we decided. I'm like, oh, I can just be like, I'm a mom too, but back here is this library of knowledge that I have, and here's what makes me qualified to help you. I don't know why it seems so stupid saying that out loud now. That's
Yeah.
literally what you helped me realize.
Very, very cool. And so you've been in, now help me here, because you've been in the SPL, the Strategic Profit Lab Insider Circle, for how long now? Has it
Let's
been
see, we
two,
came
3 months?
it was right about the end of our beta launch and at the start of our alpha launch. So I want to say like January or February, probably February,
Okay.
January, January, because it was before, it was after, yeah, it had to have been January at the earliest.
So we'll say 3 months.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of get a context for everybody watching of
Hmm.
like how far you've gotten, and like you've only been in here for just a little while. It's not been like years.
Mm-mm.
So how's the process helped you over the last 3 months since the beginning that you've
Uh,
been here?
yeah. So I think just knowing, one, recognizing the signs of success. And, you, like you were saying about how you always get these testimonials of people like, oh yeah, I did this launch and I had $1 million. That's not the only measure of success. And I was always looking for, like, well, if I'm succeeding, then I will wake up tomorrow and I will have hit my financial goal, even though I was never really driven by money. And it's funny how you're like, well, when someone opens your emails, when someone clicks on your ad, when someone does this and this and this, that's a sign that your people love you, that they want you, they're hearing your message. I didn't really think of it that way, because that's not what other coaches teach you, right? They teach you how to measure your ROI, and that's
Hmm.
it, the financial ROI. And for someone who's more motivated by living a good lifestyle and using my gifts wisely, looking at my ROI and the dollar signs wasn't helping me, because I'm like, well, I'm basically giving 1,000,000 hours and having $0 in return. And that wasn't, then I must be doing something wrong. So I guess, like, knowing that you help me measure my success in other ways, and I can now leverage, like, my message is really good. People want this message from us. And now I know how to see that and recognize it and leverage it to reach our financial goals.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm glad you said that, because I know that a lot of people that are going to watch this, might be doing the same thing, measuring the end result. And there's really nothing wrong. That is the end result. You need to know, like, how much money am I making? Is it worth it? And all this other kind of stuff. I get that. But it's the journey. It's the small wins along the way. It's knowing now, like, I'm pretty sure like, looking at your funnel, there's only a few places that it could break. And you kind of now know that, okay, this piece is working and this piece is broken. Let's go fix that. And that's kind of really what Strategic Profit Lab is all about, is like, okay, let's kind of take all these moving components that a lot of people out there try to make it more complicated than it really is, and throw all
Mm-hmm.
these kind of things in play, which I don't know why. And I like to simplify things, as you know, and let's make it simple. And yes, there's going to be a lot of failures along the way, but now, at least if we know where the piece is broken. And I always say this when I'm teaching clients, in live masterminds or even on our calls and stuff, that when it comes down to focus, if you're not focused, if you're one of those people that, when you come up against an obstacle, and because of the obstacle, frustrates you, which we all get there, and you bounce and you go to something else because you don't want to deal with that, then
Mm-hmm.
you're unfocused, first of all, and you're distracted, so you can't fix things, and you got too many things going on. So realistically, when you start to focus and only do that one thing, you'll know the piece of the puzzle that's broken. And that's kind of what
Mhm.
we do. Is that like a right
Yeah.
interpretation kind of?
No, that's definitely it, because you're right. There are plenty of bright and shiny ads out there that tell you, like, I will get you from point A to point B if you just follow this perfect little formula. And we did that. I mean, you know, Joey, that I'm a hard worker and I will do whatever you tell me. And so I did that
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
2, 3 programs, and I kept ending up at the same spot. I don't want to hit buy now. I don't want to open up the buy now because this doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm sleazily selling, even though I bought the like how to sell without feeling sleazy program, you know? So that that's really what it was, is you can get really far with a prepackaged formula,
Yeah.
and you can follow every guru that you want and do exactly what they do. But like you said, it's just, there's more to it than that. You need someone to really break apart your individual stuff and work on it. And that's scary when you have a new business venture and it's not profitable. And everyone always says, well, invest in yourself. Well, we get that, but what do you invest in? Who do you invest to help? You know, who do I buy? Who do I pay for to help me? And because you're authentic and because you don't have a shiny, glittery ad, I feel like you're the best fit. And that's what really helped us. Just because we're not out to take money and from faceless people. And that's kind of, you know, that's why I felt connected with your message. I could tell that that's pretty much what you were doing.
So what else, let me ask you this, what else have you been able to change just by going through the training as a member of the Strategic Profit Lab Insider Circle?
Yeah, I think the comparison thing, it's funny. I'm not really a mom who compares herself to other moms, but I think I was a business owner who compared herself to other business owners or business like success stories. I was constantly like, well, so and so did this method and they did that, you know, and this was their positive result. And I kept comparing myself to that. But it's funny how in your tribe, I can compare myself to everyone because I'm like, yes, I have his mindset. Yes, I have her positive outlook. Like I have her drive to do this. It's not about like, oh, I'm going to go mimic her ad and get her dollar results. It's more like, I want to be like these people. You know, what's that saying about, surround yourself with people who will like lead you to be stronger or better, not
Yeah, who will
just,
lift you up. You stand
yeah,
on the shoulders of giants, and yeah, like I mean, people
yeah.
lift you up around you.
Yeah, and people who are going to force you to be the better version of yourself. I feel like
Mhm.
that's what our tribe is. And you'll read that, you know, I've been in other groups where like, well, I take the money and they see what they think they're getting and then like roll on out. That's it. That's never the conversation that we have in SPL ever, ever.
Yeah, it's true, and I think that you know, as the tribe is growing, we are. It's so cool. I mean, this is from my personal, and maybe you'll agree with this, that it's so great when you can go in there and authentically help somebody just by saying, here's you know, they'll ask a simple question like, what do I need to make my graphics look better? Well, here's a link to this, and you're not holding your cards to your chest. You're not going, oh, I'm not going to tell you this little thing, right? It's such a helping community, and that makes me feel great that I could just help somebody, even though some people in the SBL, in the Facebook group that we have a free Facebook group, they're not members of this, what we're talking about, the Insider Circle, but we're all in there to help. Like we're all in there. It doesn't really matter whether you're a member or not, you're there to help. And if you want to continue to upgrade and get into this level of the Insider Circle, by all means, join us. But
Mhm.
is that true? Do you feel that that's the same way?
I do, because like how many of us really live our lives where we walk around and be like, oh, well, you didn't pay me for help, so I'm not going to answer your question. Like, would you really do that? But that
Right.
is what happens. You know, like different coaching programs will have their free thing where they never show up, they never answer a question, that they let their admins do it. And I'm not discounting what they're doing, but I'm just
Mhm.
saying that's what you get. And then you come to Joey and it's like, Joey, would you please go home, man? Like you're not charging anybody enough and you're answering everybody's questions, you know? I feel like I got to stick up for you. But that's not how it is. And I don't live my life that way and you don't live your life that way. We're like, sorry, dude, you didn't pay me today. I'm not answering a question. And that's silly because it's going to come back to you. And that's the kind of business I want to build. I want to build a business where someone's going to remember that I helped them regardless of what level they were, whether they paid me or not. I'm living, breathing this life, and I want to show them that. And that's who you are. And that's why I like this group so much better than all of those I've ever been in.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I love it. And the check's in the mail.
Yeah, right. Great, because I need a new designer. No, I'm just kidding.
We're just joking around, but seriously,
Yeah,
what
totally.
what used to trip you up before, like before you came here? Like, what used to trip you up most about your business before you joined us?
Well, I think feeling like it had to have that super, I mean, our brand is very professional looking and clean and everything, but I felt like I had to exactly follow, like every sales page has to have 5 bullet points and it has to have 3 questions and 2 start, all of that. I felt like I always had to do that and I never understood it and I didn't have the time to study it. What was the question again? I'm just kidding. I was thinking of, I was just,
Uh,
the homework you gave me last week. And I'm like, man, that was so groundbreaking. It was so groundbreaking that it just like totally took my mind. But that's
this
what
is
it
truly
was.
this is truly like what our calls are like. I mean, so this is like a true authentic interview,
Yeah,
right? I mean, this
yeah.
is
Or
exactly what our
Joey,
calls are like.
Joey knows what's going on, and I totally don't. You see? No, I know what I was going at, but it's just without talking about your whole inner circle thing, I just can't even explain it. But basically, just you are able to, you have this training, you have the root training, and you can look at what I did and not tell me how to make it fit that root training, but you can just say, okay, this is why this isn't working. And
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like you can educate me in that call versus saying, oh, you need to go read these 52 books and this
Right.
5-hour webinar, because that's what you've done. That's what
Mhm.
you've
Yeah,
done. And that's what I like about it is I don't have to follow formula and you're going to look at it and help me fix it.
very cool. Which is
Absolutely.
cool.
Hmm.
So, let me ask you this: going through the program and training so far, what was like the biggest part that has made the most impact for you?
I think accepting your offer of like taking your coaching to a new level. Everybody likes to do the least expensive route. And I came in at the least expensive route and then just committed to going more, like higher, whatever, just that was scary because not a profitable company, yet I will be come
Yeah,
June. But, so I guess just knowing that, seeing that you had all the information and all the training and anything I ever needed, it was right there. But then if I really wanted to use your brain and apply your skills and everything specifically to my unique situation, I just needed to upgrade and do that. And that was probably the biggest impact. And trusting you, because like I wouldn't have trusted anybody I wouldn't have paid anybody at a higher level if I didn't
yeah,
trust you and see, you know what I mean?
I
I
do.
think that's what
Thank.
it is. You show up and I trusted you, and yeah, and just knowing that you're living what you're doing. And that's kind of it. That's made the biggest impact in showing that you can be successful being you and I'm going to be me instead of a polished professional who obviously is not completely polished all the time. Like I can't stay. I can't be on all the time, you know? And that's
You
okay.
know, yeah, it is okay. Yeah, it's like we have to have our downtime to our unplugged time. We just spoke about that this morning, or actually
Hmm.
before the call, right? Our unplugged times, and sometimes we get all our heads are in the clouds, and we're like, oh, what's going on? We're so confused, and it's okay to do that.
Right. Right. And just knowing that I can just say, hey, I'm a mom. I just totally forgot what I was saying,
Yeah,
and my people actually like me more now because they're like, oh, so she didn't have people putting her makeup on before she came on the camera and everything's shiny, like I'm human. And
yeah. I
yeah.
think that's a really big component with anybody who's watching this, and you're trying to educate people or position yourself as an expert or go to whatever that looks like. I get it, but I also know that I was at a training a couple days ago, and they were speaking about something like this, and I'm just going to shorten it very quickly, that this person never made a mistake, and people were
Mhm.
tuning in for that person to make a mistake. And finally, when she did, it was the YouTube thing, and it was the biggest video watched. And that's because they're like hoping to make a mistake but it's like,
Mhm.
how can this person be so perfect? And so now what they do is they keep the edits in there. Like if there's a mistake, they don't edit them out, because it
Mhm.
just makes us human, because that's the way we are. Humans make mistakes, right?
And that's the comparison thing, because if you're modeling your business after someone else, then you're going to feel like you have to look like that someone else, or you're not
Yeah.
going to be taken seriously. And then you're not going to be worth it. No one's going to want to pay the value because you don't look like so-and-so, because so-and-so shows up in a suit. Right. And that was definitely what I learned from reading your emails and taking the chance. Was I basically said, I forgot to tell you that I'm a mom. You know, I mean, it was literally like that. Like, I've been doing this whole thing, like, why am I good at this? Because I'm a mom. And like, here's the things I do as a mom. But I was like, oh, but by the way, I'm a mom.
You're right.
Isn't that so? It's so stupid simple, but that's really what it was. And so I think in our group, all of our people, just it's authenticity. That's really what it comes down to.
Very cool. So let me ask you, I don't want to keep you forever. So one more question. What would be your number one piece of advice for any other members who are, thinking about upgrading to our insiders circle, or anybody watching this who just wants to come and join us, even in the Facebook group for free,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe upgrade later? What would be your number one piece of advice for them?
It depends, because like I said, I feel like Joey needs to be protected because he will show up and do all the stuff for his people at the free level. So don't join the free group. Joey needs to not work so hard. I'm just kidding. I like our group. I want more people to come in because I like learning from the different people. And I feel like, I just think that people will come and they'll have the confidence to invest in their business, because no matter where you came from, no matter what your situation is, if you just come and hang out with this group, you will feel strong. You'll feel confident that you can just, okay, my idea is good. These people support me. They think this is great. Now I feel comfortable to go ahead and invest in some help to get to the next level. Because every person needs a coach. I mean, the best experts, the best athletes, they all have coaches. I mean, Michael Phelps did not get to be Michael Phelps without a coach. You're not going to get to be the best, whatever you want to be, without a coach. So come to the group, get to know us, get to know everybody in the thing, and put Joey to work. And then, you got to invest in yourself. You need a coach.
So then, so let's speak to that just last piece then. So now, what about the people who are in the free group who are thinking now of upgrading? What would you say to them?
You shouldn't hesitate. I mean, you just shouldn't, because it's just time that you're losing, and it's more, you're going to read more gurus. You're going to go and consider other programs. You're going to see other ads because you're going to get targeted because you're in Joey's group. You'll get targeted by everybody who tries to mimic everything. You know what I mean? Like, that happens. You're like, oh, anybody in Joey's group, target them for this ad. You're going to see all of it. Just put the blinders on, pick one coach, stick with it, because Joey's got so much information. Like, one of the calls that we had a couple weeks ago, I was like, why is this all in boxes of paper? You need to put it digitally and like share it with us, And so he's doing that. I asked him to do it. He's doing it. And it's great. Like, he's got everything we need. Everything.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was such a great call. I've got goosebumps listening to you, give me all these props. I'm not used to it. But I think some people need to understand really what Strategic Profit Lab is all about. And if I get more of people like you who to build this tribe out, it will be even better than what it is right now. I can just imagine, 1,000 Sarahs in the group. It'll be just,
oh man, he would never
completely
sleep,
awesome.
Joey. He would never
Yeah,
sleep.
it'd be great. Well, listen, thank you for this. It was such a great honor to have you here. We're going to kick it. I'll bring you back on maybe in a couple more months, see where you're at, give people like an update on what's going on. And that's it. Literally, thank you so much for your time, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you, Joey.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.